Hey, I got a question for you.
What's up?
Why are we doing this episode?
I don't know. I think we've gotten a lot of requests to do romantic comedies from our audience.
By who? Name them specifically.
Ashley.
I'm just kidding. Ashley.
Ashley requested we do romantic comedies.
I do remember him.
And Jordan, I think.
Jordan too?
Yeah, Jordan. Friends of the show. Hey, Jordan. Hey,
Shout
Ashley.
out Ashley. Shout out Jordan.
Hell yeah.
I don't like romantic comedies.
Really?
Really? No.
You wait. You don't like romantic comedies. You just don't like a full genre. Why?
I really don't like these. I don't like these movies.
Why not?
They're boring, and I think I.
They suck. And my next point.
Moving on, end of the episode. No, I think it's. I think it's the Nicholas Sparks effect. Not that he writes romantic comedies, but I just think he's ruined the entire concept of like romance in a lot of movies for me.
I will say
I love a lot of romance films. I love the
like
Before,
what?
I love the Before trilogy.
Okay.
I love La La Land, and I can name romantic comedies that I really like. One of which we're about to talk about, but this is my least favorite genre in films.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think also Jennifer Lopez ruined it for me too.
people say that, but how many rom-coms has she actually been in?
Like a shitload.
Has she?
Yeah, man.
You know which one I do like with her? This is really digging deep in the bag.
Something Manhattan?
No.
Okay.
It's
I don't know.
Monster-in-Law.
Oh yeah.
It's with
I know of that one.
Fonda. Jane Fonda. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that one.
I like Jane Fonda.
Yeah, she's a good actress.
She is a good actress.
Yeah, she's pretty good. No, that's wow. You don't like romantic comedies. I think I'm not necessarily for or against them. There aren't many romantic comedies that I'm gonna watch on like a Friday or Saturday night. Like I usually like thrillers or action movies. Mm-hmm. But I will say, growing up with one TV in our apartment as a family, and my sister is, it's her TV time. I would just watch some shit that she would watch. So it's like Legally Blonde and Bring It On and shit.
Bring It On. Yeah.
What's the one with what's her face? Catwoman from The Dark Knight Rises. She was in
Anne Hathaway?
Yeah, Anne Hathaway. What's the princess movie?
Oh, Princess Diaries.
Princess Diaries.
Yeah, I guess that is rom-com.
Yeah, I watched that with my sister.
I do like that movie.
Yeah.
Her chemistry with Julie Andrews is really what makes that movie so
good. Yeah. Another one. Okay, other romantic comedies. Crazy Stupid Love, I like.
That is that might be my all-time favorite rom-com.
It's
that
a good
movie one. I will watch anytime. Mm-hmm. It's just in general a favorite movie of mine.
It's clever,
funny. It's really funny. It's got a lot of good heart to it.
Absolutely.
The acting from everybody in that movie is great. That's a good one.
I feel like black people don't have a lot of great romantic comedies.
Crickets.
Right? Like, Can you recall one that's a good...
You mean other than the one we're going to talk to, which is like...
Is Hitch a black rom-com?
Sure.
I would say no, but...
You don't think it's okay. Like, how are you going to define a black rom-com?
A rom-com with more than one black person in it.
Oh, okay.
There's Will Smith and then Eva Mendes's gay guy friend. Like, it just...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That guy was gay?
Whoa.
Not that there's anything wrong.
No, my father's gay.
Yeah, my sister's boyfriend's gay.
My sister's boyfriend is gay.
She doesn't know. Sorry, Sally.
Oh no. No. I don't think Hitch is a black rom-com, and I don't know. We have many.
I think you're right.
Black rom-coms.
I think just like when Will Smith is like at the forefront of any movie, it's
by
default
movie.
Makes it a black movie.
Yeah, even is Shark Tale a black movie?
Fuck yeah, Shark Tale's a black
Movie.
Shark Tale's
Get
Shark
the
Tale's
fuck
definitely
out
a
of here.
black
No, it's not.
movie.
Those fish are They're fish.
I think even though Renee Zellweger is voicing Angie in that, I think
what?
Renee Zellweger.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you thought I said Renee Zell.
No, anyway. She was the female fish?
I think even though her and Angelina Jolie are voicing like the
love interest.
Yeah, the love interest fish. Yeah. I think the fish are supposed to be black. I can't explain it to you.
Look at these white women taking all the jobs from black women voice acting as these fish.
Of course.
God damn it.
Of course.
It's like when Scarlett Johansson pretended to be an Asian woman
in the Ghost in the Shell. That was wild.
Movie, right? Yeah.
I've never even seen Ghost in the Shell, but I remember when I saw that trailer.
My favorite anime of all time.
I've heard good things.
It's a great.
But like I watched that trailer and I knew of the anime watching that trailer, and I'm like, that's kind of weird that that's Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
she also played a black actor, like a black character in a movie. Black Widow. Fuck, I wish I could have gotten that out straight, but yeah.
Yeah, because it would have made it funnier.
Fuck you. Anywho,
why are there two movies in the MCU with like the title Black, or three with the title
Black Panther, Black Widow, and then what?
And then Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Right.
Which most people just kind of call Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Hitch.
Speaking of black people. Speaking of non-black things.
Right.
Let's talk about Hitch.
Okay.
So, I'm going to do my intro, I guess.
Sure.
Without further ado. Welcome back to the Loose Leaf Media Podcast. My name is Davis Leaf. I'm here with my co-host,
Romanus.
And today, for some reason, we're going to talk about Hitch. And I rewatched this movie last night.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually love this movie.
I think it's actually my favorite rom-com.
It's a Hall of Famer for rom-com movies, for sure. I'm watching this movie and I'm like, this movie's clever. It's actually pretty clever, and it gets me a couple of times.
It's very well paced.
Yeah. It's 2 hours.
Yeah.
And when I started this movie, I'm like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? Why is this movie 2 hours? And then I'm just sitting there like by the first hour and I'm locked in.
There's never a moment where you're bored with this movie.
No, it's a really entertaining movie.
It keeps jumping from different situations. You see Hitch in his zone, like helping these really down bad men trying to court the woman of their dreams.
Mm-hmm. And right out of the gate, the movie's like the writing of this movie is really witty, and I like that wit that it has to it.
Yeah.
Like I like how he breaks the fourth wall within the first minute.
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Do you believe that? Neither does she. Know why? Because she's lying to you. Do you understand me? Lying." It's so witty right out of the gate. I was like, I like this. This is funny.
It's a great movie.
This is like people like this will probably be a cliche to describe things in rom-com films, but it's actually cute and charming, and that writing is clever and it's witty for that reason. And I'm like, this is working. I like this.
And even the drama in the movie is human. There's never a moment. Rom-coms are typically corny.
Yeah.
But
it's just like over the top sappy.
Yeah. And yet this movie, even if in its more comedic moments, it still feels human, right? It's starring Will Smith and Kevin James. Yeah. Kevin James of King of Queens fame.
He's good in this movie.
He is.
I'm not a huge fan of Kevin James in general, but he's really good in this movie.
He's the comedian, and Will Smith plays the straight man.
Yes.
And they have a lot of good chemistry.
But he's like the thing about Kevin James' character is he's not an idiot. He's just kind of a buffoon.
He's a goofball.
Yeah, he's a lovable goofball.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's a little bit easier to buy into his like relationship later with Amber Vandelay.
Yeah.
And it's good. The chemistry between like the four central characters in this movie works. And it's surprising how well it works, because you're talking about like how there's real human moments in this. There's like a couple of scenes where it gets like into the depth of some of the characters a little bit more. But I think like the first kiss between Will Smith and Eva Mendes's characters actually kind of got me when I was rewatching this, and I was just like, damn, I'm actually kind of rooting for them right now. Because they're described as these like complete cynics that have their careers essentially for the very like wrong reasons. and disposable reasons ultimately. And as the movie peels back its layers, every one of those supporting cast is able to see right through those layers of those characters. And so when they start getting together, it's like it's believable. You believe their chemistry.
Yeah, and I'm even with Kevin James and the other actress who I'm Amber Valletta.
Yeah, I think I mispronounced her name.
Yeah, because she's Allegra in the
Allegra
movie,
Cole,
right?
Yeah,
Allegra Cole,
very famous model.
And then in the movie, and then
and in real life,
is she?
Yeah.
Oh damn. Moving along.
Yeah.
Kevin James as Albert, and then Amber Valletta as Allegra. I think they also have great chemistry because he's definitely a goofball in the beginning of the movie, very well established, and he is on a board of lawyers that is helping Allegra out with her finances, right? Mm-hmm. And
like the financial advisors for her money.
Exactly.
They call it a trust or something. They don't really go into it too much.
They don't, and
it doesn't matter.
It really doesn't. And she's this really beautiful, really intimidating person to talk to because she's so beautiful and famous.
She's got all this high publicity.
Yeah, and you think like even seeing them together on screen, it's like, yeah, that couple probably doesn't make sense. It doesn't pass the eye test.
Well, Hitch himself like literally describes him as his Sistine Chapel when they're first talking. Just like, have you ever heard of Michelangelo? He did the Sistine Chapel, and he describes himself as Michelangelo, and then Kevin James as his Sistine Chapel, and then he's just like, let's go paint that ceiling, and then they walk away.
That is,
and I'm like, that's funny.
That's a cute that can be offensive, and it can be like.
See, but
cute.
it is cute because it's like it's his white whale.
Yeah,
he's like, well,
whoa, boy,
he's his Moby Dick.
My goodness, that's a terrible thing to say about Kevin James.
Why?
White whale?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want you to specifically tell me why.
Oh, you turned it on me, you fucking bastard.
No, that's actually a good point because the movie doesn't really do a lot of those bits with his character either.
No.
He's not that kind of butt of the joke character in the movie. He's, like I was saying, he's just a buffoon.
Yeah.
He's kind of clumsy at times. Mm-hmm. It's slapsticky, but not at the expense of like his physicality specifically, and that's just his personality, and that's why it works for his character.
And they do show his charming moments in the moment when they go on a date and they're at the Knicks game, and he's teaching her how to whistle, and they go to a nightclub and they start dancing, and she's a little nervous to dance, but he's like going crazy, and it sort of lets her like put her veil down.
Like you completely buy the chemistry between those two characters, despite Alex Hitchens' coaching of him, which is kind of the ultimate catharsis of the movie. It's got that that cliche ending where it's like there is no secret ingredient. You can't teach this kind of stuff to people. That's what I've been missing the whole time, and it's like, yeah, okay, I get it, but it's still cute to watch and play out.
It's also, especially in this day and age with online dating and the apps and stuff, I kind of buy this premise that some people are just gonna hire this relationship expert to help them out get like in a relationship with a specific person, right? Like it's just other romantic comedies have premises where it's like, I don't believe that bullshit. I'm already not invested, but this is pretty grounded in its delivery.
I would say so. It plays it pretty straight, but I think what elevates it a lot of the time is not just the cast, but just the concept itself of being able to try and coach people into dating, and it asks some of those ethical questions at times too, which is nice because it's like it is kind of can be perceived as like a manipulation tactic what Hitch's profession is. But it does ask those ethical questions. It's like, is it manipulation? Is it just presenting opportunities for people that wouldn't ever be given certain opportunities to find love for themselves? And it's nice and it's charming for that reason.
And there's no malice, right? One of my favorite parts of the movie is when, what what's his name? I forget his name. Something Donovan.
Jeffrey Donovan.
Jeffrey Donovan. Okay, so
Vance Munson.
even that name sounds.
He's
like
like
an
in
asshole.
He's like in 2 or 3 scenes in this movie.
Yeah,
he's such a douchebag,
is.
and it's actually really funny how much of a douchebag he is.
There's one episode. There's one scene where he's trying to hire Hitch to get with this woman. So Hitch walks into the restaurant, sits down, and is asking Jeffrey Donovan's character, "Okay, so what do you like about the woman?" And Jeffrey Donovan just says, "I just want to have sex with her. She's hot." And Hitch
he's just like, back the fuck up.
Yeah, like just this incredulous look on his face, like I'm more interested in.
See, my clients actually like women.
Yeah, like right, and
he's just like, "Sir, I need professional help from you here." And he's like, "Well, that is for damn sure." I love the dialogue of this movie. It's so witty.
Well, it's definitely whoever wrote this movie knew Will Smith really well.
Kevin Beach or something.
Yeah,
but he's the only writer, which is really refreshing too.
Yeah, no, that scene just goes to show you that Hitch isn't malicious. He doesn't hate women.
No.
Before, you saw that Hitch was heartbroken in a previous relationship. He got cheated on, but he still believes in love for other people and wants people to experience it in a righteous way.
For sure. And
he rejects the misogyny of just, hooking up with people. And just throwing them away. It definitely takes that moral pulse, and it's really refreshing. Especially, I think in a lot of rom-coms, I think the premise in a typical movie would actually be reversed, where women are seeking out advice. I don't see a lot of resources for men to get relationship advice in real life. But I think Hitch is atypical by having this character, this male character helping out other men in this positive way. And it can be seen as deceitful, his approach, but in the long run, I do think that they just needed just a jump start to approach these women. It's really hard to approach people, especially nowadays, and believe in love. It's a nice fucking movie.
It is. It's really refreshing. It really is. First of all, did you notice the Paula Patton cameo?
Wait,
at the very beginning of the movie.
Whoa!
I think it's the one. It's he's in the bar with his friends.
Yeah.
And
yes,
and then these 2 girls walk into the bar, and he's talking about going and bring him over there, and he slides her a 20 and pretends to mistake her for a bartender or something.
Yes.
And then that was Paula Patton.
I
was watching this movie and I didn't realize that. I'm just like, oh my god, is that Paula Patton?
Yeah.
Just who knew?
In the early days,
I miss Paula Patton. I miss seeing Paula Patton in movies. I have no idea.
Robin Thicke cheated on her, and then she just decided not to act anymore.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
She was so
as if
good.
Robin Thicke wasn't doing enough wrong to the world. He robbed us of Paula Patton's amazing talent. That's not sarcasm.
I know, that's why it's funny.
I remember she was in Mission Impossible, the 4th one.
She was so good.
She's great in that movie, and I was always sad that her character never returned. Do you ever see the movie Two Guns?
Yes,
with Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg? Yeah, she's in that movie too. She's really good in that movie.
Yeah.
But I miss Paula Patton. So that was just I saw it and I'm like, Paula Patton. Now I'm sad. Where you been?
She can be a Hitch too.
Should we write this? I think we'd write a good Hitch too.
Okay, how would you write Hitch too? Hitcher. Hitcher. You know what? I actually think I might have a kernel of an idea.
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
Let me turn it into popcorn.
Hitch is still living in New York, and he's not with Eva Mendes anymore for whatever.
She also doesn't act anymore, sadly.
Well, I mean, I think she just wants to be. She's focusing on being a parent.
No, I know that. Yeah. But it's I miss her too.
But yeah, let's just throw her out. She moved to wherever the fuck.
And then we bring back Paula Patton.
Sure. Okay. Now, what we can do. Hitch is living a life as maybe a consultant, I don't know, but he finds out that there's another Hitch. He's retired, but people are going around talking about this new Hitch. And now he's trying to discover who Hitch is. Now, in the background, we find out that Hitch is actually a woman helping out men. And it's played by Paula Patton.
Oh, shit.
What do you think?
I'm into it.
Yeah, and we can
I'm into this,
that's why it's a kernel of an idea.
We can develop this a little bit. But
exactly.
I'm into that idea.
Yeah, like just someone assumes his identity.
And then there's that nostalgia of them realizing that they crossed paths once.
Yes, yeah.
And they didn't realize that they were kind of doing the same thing at the same time.
Yeah.
That would also be pretty timely too. Like a woman's perspective on
I think so.
Guiding men through the dating scene.
Yeah.
That would be I think let's write this. Let's write Hitch 2.
Let's write Hitch.
Back to that. There's this I like that speed dating scene at the end of the movie. Like it's weird, like that scene kind of shifts gears in this very different way for the movie where I'm like the editing in that scene is so good because it's cutting between all of these different dialogues happening in the same scene. An argument is ensuing between Will Smith and Eva Mendes at the same time, but everybody's also trying to stay focused on the speed dating at the same time, and it's like 5 minutes long, but like I was just like really admiring the editing in that scene. I was like, this is really well cut together.
It's a great movie.
It is a good movie. It's actually like I also want to mention the soundtrack in this movie is fucking great,
which is important for a rom-com. Like soundtrack is really important for a rom-com.
There were two elements of this movie that really shine for me outside of everything else, but like I was really admiring the soundtrack because it's like immediately you get hit with Sam Cooke symphonies in the very beginning, and then we get Stevie Wonder, we get a little bit of like Pharrell and Usher, and it's a great soundtrack. And then I was also watching this movie thinking, you know what this movie is? This is a really good New York movie. Like, movies that just really, really love to express the lifestyle and the culture and that hustle and bustle momentum of living in New York.
Yeah.
And you always feel that when watching this movie. And it's so wholesome from start to finish. And I was really just enjoying that. I'm like, this movie checks some boxes that I did not expect it to check.
No, you're right. You see Easter Island, right? You see the Brownstones.
Yeah. Ellis Island.
Yeah, I was right. Ellis Island. Oh, shit.
Easter Island.
Easter Island. Oh my God!
with all the talking heads and stuff. Well, they don't talk.
And of course, we're keeping that in.
We're gonna talk about Easter Island.
We're gonna talk about Easter Island next.
They did visit that. Ava Mendez's character is revealed that she had a serial killer ancestor.
They go to Madagascar. No, anyway, I'm just different islands, and New York's made of islands.
New York is pretty much comprised of a lot of different islands, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, you see a lot. You see the museums.
Yeah.
You see they're at a Knicks game.
Wall Street.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Donovan gets like shit out of the Wall Street bull at one
puts
point.
His head is up the bull's
and then there's like
ass.
this great shot, like side shot of like him. Like,
yeah.
It's good. It's good stuff.
Man, that movie's fun.
It's a funny movie.
It's one of those movies where I could watch it anytime. Like it might have to rise up on my list of favorite movies.
I really forgot. Like I'm watching this movie, and granted, I've had like a glass of Riesling and a daiquiri at this point.
You were having a good time.
Well, I'm watching a rom-com, so I'm gonna have the proper tools to do that.
Okay.
But while I'm enjoying the company of my equipment, I'm sitting there watching my equipment being the drinks.
Oh.
I'm sitting there watching Hitch, and I'm just like
Woo! Shit.
Hey, is that your Will Smith impression when he gets the food poisoning?
He was handling his equipment while watching Hitch.
I don't even remember what the fuck I was talking about. It is a good movie though. I'm having a ton of nostalgia watching this movie with my equipment. And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, I forgot how much I love this movie, though. Like, I really did.
It put you in a good place.
It does put me in a good place. And I felt like I was in a good mood after watching this movie. I'm like, I forgot how much I liked this movie.
I bet you were.
I was. It was funny. It was charming. It was witty.
Romantic.
It was, you could almost say that.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I'm not going to lie, I did choke up a couple times watching this movie.
Like when?
Like I mentioned earlier, I like the first scene where Eva Mendes and Will Smith kiss.
Yeah.
Because it feels earned. And I was just like, in my mind, I'm already like, do it. And I'm like, aw, they're doing it. And then it, gets ripped to shreds later, like any good, end of a second act of a movie. There has to be like a climax.
We should say we also this review is good for people who've already seen the movie. We didn't summarize it or anything. We're just going head in. But,
this is, I mean, it's a retro. Yeah, I mean, the movie's just about a guy that helps guys, like loser guys, like get like women, but like in a respectable way. The movie's very clear about that.
I'm gonna write down what you just said, and that's gonna be the description.
That's gonna be the description.
Yeah, it's just a guy helping out guys, loser guys, get women in a respectful way.
Not that there's anything wrong with
it. No. My father's gay.
My father's a loser.
My father's Jesus Christ. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite episodes.
This is fun.
No.
So, the movie ends. It's sappy. The characters say "I love you" after knowing each other for like 3 days, and then it ends.
That's rom-com like.
That's rom-com logic, bro. But I didn't care because I'm like, I had a good time with this. I also like that like the movie just peels back Hitch's layers by the third act and really showcases he's kind of a loser still. Because like when there's that flashback in the beginning of the movie of him talking about like how he kind of ended up the way he is, and it's like so cynical and like didn't really seek out love for himself anymore. It's because he considered himself like a loser and like had no game whatsoever when he was in college, and that led to him getting played and cheated on by this girl he was with. And then at the end of the movie, he's sitting there trying to express his emotions to Eva Mendes before she, drives off into the sunset and we never see her again. And he's just like stumbling over his words and rambling for like 3 straight minutes. And I'm like, I like this. Again, this is super charming because you see this character and you revere him as this doctor, as he's described in the movie, of dating. And now you're just seeing him as buffoonish as any of the other people that he's trying to help.
Again, it's also very human because when you've had arguments with your partner and you feel like you definitely have a lot of emotions, but then when you're in front of them, your mind just goes blank, Once you're confronted with that real moment, it's like... It's tough.
It is tough.
Yeah, and he's just this fast-talking, smooth-talking guy for this entire movie. But then, in this critical moment, he can't find the words.
And that's what makes part of the movie so good because, again, the dialogue is so good in this movie. I love the first exchange that he has with Eva Mendes when she's getting hit on by this guy that she's not interested in. And then he comes and swoops in and, saves her, but he doesn't overstay his welcome. Yeah. And they just share a really good exchange of words that's almost kind of like a game for them to see who can outsmart the other person. Yeah. And then she ends up kind of charmed when she almost never is. Yeah. And he shot a shot and he tried something, but he, again, didn't overstay his welcome to make her feel uncomfortable. And it's good. It's really good dialogue. And it's quotable, too. It's a movie with a lot of good quotes. Like that moment where he talks with Jeffrey Donovan. And Jeffrey Donovan, like, grabs his arm as he's walking away. And then Will Smith is like, oh, you're using a metaphor right now. Okay, well, I'm more of a literal guy. So when I do this, and then he just like slams him down on the table and he's like, and this is literally me saying that I will break your shit off if you ever touch me again. Okay, pumpkin?
Okay, pumpkin?
Like shit like that.
Jeffrey Donovan just nods.
And he's just like, yeah, I get it.
I suck.
Yep, I'm a piece
He's
of shit.
getting beaten up in this whole movie. He gets
like every scene, he gets kicked in the nuts and then puts his hand on the Wall Street Bull, and it makes it look like he's getting shit out of it. Yeah. Good stuff.
My goodness.
Good stuff. Good visuals. Good, like visual gags. Yeah. Good dialogue. Good acting.
Speaking of visual gags, there's one part in the movie that I really enjoy, and masterful editing in this part too, where they go to a cooking class together on a date, Eva Mendes and Will Smith, and they're eating and...
the food poisoning scene,
Well, not food poisoning. He's allergic to like the fish, or shellfish or whatever,
the food allergy.
And so like he's like kind of coughing and like itching, and they're like, "Are you allergic?" And they're shocked at how fast his face is swelling up. And so Eva Mendes is like pulling Will Smith like through this supermarket looking for Benadryl, and allergy medicine, and you don't see his face until he looks at his own reflection in the mirror. And it's almost cartoonish. It looks like when Martin got beaten up on Martin.
Yeah.
Right? Just like it's just the face makeup, just eyes all puffy and shit.
It looks real too, and it looks very uncomfortable. I remember that was like the last, like, do you remember ever watching the trailers for this movie?
No.
Like, I would, like, whenever I would buy old DVDs, they would, like, a lot of them had the trailer for this movie in front of them. And I just remember that was, like, the bit that they really highlighted in the trailer for this movie. The food allergy bit. And it just cuts off right when he looks at the camera and goes, "Oh! Woo! 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 Woo!" And just does his Will Smith thing there.
Yeah. This was also at the height of Will Smith's career. Like, this was in the middle of a legendary run.
Yeah, where I think it was sandwiched right in between I, Robot, I Am Legend, and Pursuit of Happiness.
Besides I, Robot, like those. But I mean, even then, all of those movies made over $100 million. Like he's home run after home run.
He is known as one of the most profitable actors of all time.
Yeah,
and he's also pretty multifaceted too, and I think this is one of those movies that really showcases that he can do a romantic comedy, and he elevates every element of it. But it was also just in general a really good concept of a romantic comedy too.
Yeah. I have no complaints about this movie.
Watching this movie, I'm like, any complaints I would have is just a nitpick of the subgenre itself. And I can't really hold it against this movie when the writing is really good, the cast is really good as well, the chemistry between all the characters, and it's witty and charming. And I think those are the top things that you pretty much want to get out of your romantic comedy. So,
while we were talking about Hitch, I thought of another romantic comedy that I really like. That you probably, I don't know if you've seen. It's called The Last Holiday with Queen Latifah.
I haven't seen it, but I know The Last Holiday.
That's a good one.
One of my all-time favorites as well is Love Actually.
Oh yeah, who is that with?
Huge cast. Liam Neeson.
Yes,
Alan Rickman, Colin Firth, and that's just scratching the surface of this cast. See, Emma Thompson.
Those three names, the first three that you mentioned, it's like, damn, those three in a rom-com, just shocking.
It's kind of it's one of those rom-coms where like it's a huge abundance of characters where like loosely are interconnected to one another. Like, do you remember when they started doing those I don't remember if it was like, I don't remember which director that was doing this, but like Valentine's Day, New Year's Eve, which were both the same movie essentially. But yeah, it was kind of like that concept, but better, and took itself a lot less seriously. Yeah. Even though there's a lot of weird heart to a movie that will go from really sad moments to just absolutely ridiculous moments. It's a good movie though. I like that movie.
It's hard to, there's so many different rom-coms and they have a lot of different combinations of emotions and they appeal to a lot of different crowds. I just like a fun rom-com. I don't want to see scandal or tragedy. I want to have a good time with Hitch or something. You know what I mean?
One I really love too is Silver Linings Playbook with Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence. I think that one works very well. A lot of which is also dedicated to its cast and its writing for how well it works, but pretty good social commentary on mental illness a little bit in that one too. But that's one I really love as well. But they're pretty far and few between for me, but Hitch is definitely very close to the top of my favorite rom-coms. This is a good movie.
And highly recommend it to anybody.
Very much recommend this movie, especially if you like a rom-com movie. I can't really see how you would dislike this one. It's sappy, but it's not even close to the sappiest it can possibly get with this genre. And it's clever. It's funny. Yep. And here I am still wondering why we're talking about it.
Well, there is a reason.
Oh, you mean other than the fact that it was recommended?
Yeah, I think that because we are gonna go into some really intense, scary movies next month, we're like, let's have a palate cleanser. This is a palate cleanser for our audience and for us.
Hey, we have heart and soul to us, everybody. Before we talk about a bunch of insane situations of people probably getting mutilated on screen with all the horror movies we're going to watch.
I mean, to be fair, you don't hear a lot of guys talking about the romantic comedies that they like.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
But if it's a good movie, I'll watch it.
Facts.
Right? Like it has to be well done with interesting characters.
Yeah. This is a good palate cleanser for that reason. So yeah. We have heart, we have soul. We're not one-dimensional.
We're not?
2-dimensional.
Oh.
Not quite at 3 yet. It's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna write Hitch 2 tonight.
Let's start.
Yeah.
I'll send you some ideas. So
please,
everybody, be on the lookout. We have absolutely no financial backing for this. We have no distributors.
Maybe
we don't have a plot. We don't have a screenplay.
Oh, you know what? Okay, instead of Paula Patton, Chris Rock.
Yeah, and see, this is what I thought. This is what I thought you were gonna say originally.
Yeah, Chris Rock will be the other Hitch.
I like it. I think there's an idea in which we incorporate Chris Rock into the movie, but I'm kind of sold on this Paula Patton idea. Okay. I think it's a little bit more clever and original.
I'm gonna pitch both, and then whatever
You're gonna hitch both. I agree.
My God. Somehow I'm gonna get Chris Rock and Will Smith in a movie.
I think this is the better one over Bad Boys because I like this movie more than any of the Bad Boys movies.
No,
which is saying a lot because I would usually like that genre film more than the genre film, but I actually like this movie more than those movies. So I say we still incorporate Chris Rock in this, but we figure out a significant role for him in the story that isn't playing the polar opposite Hitch. Paula Patton playing.
Oh, you know what would be nice?
The other Hitch is a good idea.
If somehow Chris Rock is a client for Will Smith's Hitch.
Yeah.
Like somehow.
We'll workshop it. That will
never happen.
We'll workshop it.
Yeah, that will never fucking happen, but that's okay.
Well, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Or
hey, the movie will be a hit.
Really it'll go off without a
bang.
I think if we really want to get edgy and if we really want to push the waters here, we make Will Smith's new partner in the movie not Paula Patton, but Chris Rock. Partner. Yeah.
Like
sexually.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we're going to make Will Smith and Chris Rock a gay couple in the new Hitch. Yeah, why not?
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No. My father's gay.
Of course. Yeah. I know that.
Yeah, I've said it.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, yeah, that's right.
I think I've mentioned it before.
That's why I knew that.
Yeah.
No other reason. So this was... Well, without further ado, be ready for Hitch 2.
I think so. We're gonna write this. We're gonna punch up some details.
Yeah, I think so. What the hell, right? What the hell?
Yeah.
You know, it's a rom-com. How hard can it be to write?
Would you rather watch Bad Boys 5,
Hitch 2,
or Hitch 2?
Hitch 2.
Okay.
Easily.
Wait, whoa. Okay.
Which is why we should write it because I'll feel more inspired.
I'm trying to think of other Will Smith movies that could be sequels, but
iRobot 2. Try Robot.
So
we just skip right to 3.
Oh God. They may as well have
or we're trying to make a second iRobot.
Maybe if they do iRobot, but like in the title it's like 2 eyes because it's Roman numerals.
Yeah. Oh shit. Let's log out.
Yeah, we got writing to do.
Good. Yeah, this is good. I like that. We're cooking tonight.
No, we're not. We're tired.
We're cooking. Yeah, we're tired. Well, everybody, thank you for this very random and just completely arbitrary episode of Hitch. Mm-hmm. This is our second retrospective officially. Who knew that we would go from Midsummer to Hitch? But again, we're pretty 2-dimensional, aren't we?
I think so.
Hitch 2-dimensional. So. Thank you. I don't know.
Hitch in 2D.
2D, even better.
Yeah, like especially since they're a gay couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
2D.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Terrible.
No, we need to end this.
Terrible.
I hate myself.
Well, thank you everybody for joining on this episode of the Loose Leaf Media Podcast. I did this with my co-host,
Romanus.
And we will see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Take care.